This week, you guys are going to start a new design project. This project is going to revolve around the COVID-19 global pandemic that we are currently experiencing. Essentially, the problem is going to be right here in this box. I want you to identify an opportunity, a need, or a problem related to the global pandemic and come up with something to solve that problem. Now, I'm not asking you to come up with a vaccine. I'm not asking you to do things which people aren't currently doing, like solving this whole thing with the snap of a finger. I'm not looking for a magic spell or silver bullet. I am asking you to take one of the small problems related to the COVID-19 and come up with a way to address it. Maybe it's designing a template for at-home masks that actually already exists, but that's absolutely a business opportunity. Maybe it's something related to an assemble at-home ventilator that can be MacGyvered. Maybe it's something related to an at-home temperature taking app where somebody can use a phone to take a temporal temperature, like a forehead temperature. So there's a lot of possibilities out there. I'm looking for creativity and I'm looking for a solution that somebody might actually want to spend some money and buy when it's all said and done at the end of this project, that someone would say, that's a really good idea. If that was here right now, I would buy that. That's what I'm looking for. And it doesn't just have to be a product, it can also be a service. It can be an app. It could be a series of products. Your guys aren't limited as far as that part of the equation goes. But I want you to narrow down on what specific opportunity it is that you are seeing by creating this identifying this narrow problem. Don't solve the whole global pandemic. Solve one small aspect of it. And as you can see here, the tracker has changed a little bit for this project than the last because we're not integrating any of the team experiences. This is all an individual project. So everything is significantly simplified. Across the top are the weeks. So, excuse me, we're in week 3 right now. The dates correlate to the weeks. We have the engineering design process steps. We have the simplified task descriptions, what you essentially need to do that week. And then you guys have these columns here under the progress tracker to go ahead and enter any information that you need to. And obviously you can enter as much as you need to and make this much, much bigger to hold all your information. On the bottom, the second tab is the engineering design process diagram. We'll be starting at defining the problem and are working our way to develop a design proposal. I am not going to be expecting you to come up and with a prototype and evaluate it. Most of those tools are what we'd be using at school in the CAD lab, so I'm not going to ask you to do that. All I'm going to ask you for is a description of your prototype and some type of a drawing. It can be a hand drawing, that's fine, but I want a description and a drawing. And we are obviously going to be communicating the results for the last step as well. Now, back to the calendar here. This is pretty much where you're going to be doing all your stuff for the rest of this project, which is going to end on the last week of school where you're going to turn in your presentation essentially. Get to know this, use this, fill it in. I'm going to try and keep everything as simple as possible with as few documents as possible, but I need you guys to make sure if you have any questions that you're coming online and asking me, and you guys are putting in the time, putting in the creativity and thought process to come up with some really interesting and quality products. Because if at the end of your project, I don't stop and say, that's actually a good idea, I might want to buy that, then you're not going to get the full points for it. So make sure every step of the way you keep asking yourself, if I was the guy down the street, if I was a government, whoever you're targeting this for, would I buy this? Is this a product? Is this a service that is actually worth doing? If the answer is yes, then you're good. If the answer is no, then take a step back and figure out what the problem is and fix it.